And good afternoon, well, actually good morning right now. Welcome to the Highliner Activity Center. We have got a full day of wrestling here today. It is the 2023 Valley City Highliner Holiday Wrestling Tournament. And we're going to have wrestling from now until about 8 o'clock tonight. A full day of wrestling here on the Highliner Activity Network. And glad you could join us here today. Paul McDonald with you here high atop the hack for wrestling here today. And again, we've got Rain Nelson will be working camera, and our technical director, and she's going to be with us all day long as well. Here's what's going on. We've got 14 teams and about 190 wrestlers. So we're supposed to be a few more. There might be a few JVers in there, but definitely we've got 14 teams here and 190 wrestlers. And right now, here are the teams that are here. Aberdeen Central, the Golden Eagles, Bismarck, Dilworth, Glen and Felton, Fargo North, Fargo South, Fergus Falls, Grand Forks Central, Jamestown, Lisbon, Thief River Falls, Valley City, West Fargo Cheyenne, West Fargo High School, Williston, the teams here today. And you look at who's bringing the most wrestlers. Dilworth, Glen and Felton, they brought 16. Grand Forks Central brought 16 wrestlers today. West Fargo Cheyenne has 16 wrestlers. It ranges between 11 and 16 wrestlers that the teams have brought here for this holiday tournament. Valley City, they don't have any wrestlers in the lower weights at 107, 14, 21, and 27. No wrestlers there for Valley City. But they've got Colton Griebel at 11-1 on the year. The junior at 133. Jaden Sewer is at 4-5 on the season. The freshman will be wrestling at 139. Also at 139, Quincy Corbin. He is 0-1 varsity action. The junior, Cruz Kappeman at 145. The sophomore coming in 0-3 in varsity record. Hunter Undum, it'll be at 152. The freshman is 2-11 on the year. Jack Lerood at 160, coming in with a record of 1-1. Again, these records are what they've done varsity level, not junior varsity, but just varsity level. Carter Jewett also wrestling at 160. The senior is 4-6. Ryer Muskie at 172. He is 6-4 on the year. Ethan Miller, 11-2, at wrestling at 189. And Mbulo, the freshman, 0-1, wrestling at 189. And Dylan Hunt, the junior, wrestling at 215, and he comes in with a record of 7-7. And so the early matches, so we'll be having, we won't have any play-by-play here early on. We'll just be focusing on what's going on the map. When a Highliner is on the map, we will definitely cut to that and have play-by-play of that one. Again, Colton Griebel, the top seed at 133, and he does have a quarterfinal match against Jesse Owens from Fargo South. And again, that will be the first Highliner wrestler that should be out on the map, but we will keep track throughout the day today. You can also follow along on Track Wrestling. If you've had a chance to get on to Track Wrestling, you can jump on there as well and follow along. Wrestling was supposed to start at 10:30, but they were supposed to have an anthem at 10:25 and wrestling at 10:30, but fans still coming in here on the, if you can see, if you are watching right now, you can see the crowd. Of course, one side of the bleachers open, and we're going to have nearly a full house here on the one side of bleachers. The format setup, and of course the mats, if you're looking on the screen, the lower right corner, that is mat 1. The lower left is going to be mat 2. Upper left is mat 3, and is mat 4, pardon me, and upper right is mat 3. That's how the mats are set up. And again, when there is a Highliner wrestling, we will focus on that mat and that match and do play-by-play with that. Otherwise, we will just have the wide shot of the 4 matches and the 4 mats throughout the day today. And then we will have play-by-play when we get into those placing rounds later on this afternoon. And again, we'll probably be going late afternoon, early evening for this tournament. We did not have this tournament last year. We had that blizzard that came through here right before Christmas last year that canceled this tournament. It's always a great tournament right before the holiday break when wrestlers will get that 2-pound allowance when they come back after the holiday break. And this is the last one before that for many of these wrestlers. They'll be done until after the new year. So again, our first match will be coming up here shortly, and we will keep track on what's going on the 4 mats. We'll keep you updated after each round is completed. And again, when there is a Highliner on the mat wrestling, we will focus on that particular match. So stay tuned. We've got wrestling all day long today here on the Highliner Activity Network on YouTube. It's the 2023 Valley City Holiday Tournament, and we can update you what happened yesterday as the Valley City hosted the girls portion of the holiday tournament. And the Highliners took 6th yesterday as a team. Victoria Sanchez and Miley Christensen, they were champions in their weight classes yesterday. So congratulations to those two young ladies. And again, Brooke Bundy also was a champion in her weight class at 190, and was talking with Brooke here early this morning. And I said, so how long did you actually wrestle yesterday? She didn't know, so I looked it up. She wrestled a total of 59 seconds in her 2 matches. She won by a pin at 28 seconds and another one in 31 seconds. And when you get this holiday tournament, it's always fun to see former Highliners make their appearance. And saw Coy Griebel here just come in this morning. And great to see the 3-time state champion and former Highliner, now Iowa Hawkeye, in the house here helping with the tournament today. So again, things will be getting started shortly. They have yet to do the national anthem. We'll have the national anthem and then that first match, and they are a little behind schedule. It was supposed to be anthem at 10:25 and the first match at 10:30, so it is going to be a little bit behind schedule here today. So stick around. Wrestling from the Hack all day long here on the Highliner Activity Network.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming and venturing out to Valley City this morning. Let's get this tournament underway. Before we get wrestling, please rise, remove your headgear, place your right hand over your heart as Sarah Hansen leads us in our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last
support our Express Wrestling program. Those tickets will be on sale all day long, and the drawing will be held before finals. There's also a board up in the team camp for wrestlers to know when they are getting close or when we're getting close to their weight classes. Without further ado, the maps are clear. Officials, when you have your wrestlers and the table is ready, let's get this thing going.
Paul McDonald back with you here and pop it on during our coverage of the 2023 Valley City Holiday Tournament. And again, the first Highliner that will be on the mat will be match 22. That'll be Colton Griebel. He's the top seed at 133, coming in 11-1 on the year. He will take on Jesse Owens of Fargo's, Jesse Olson. I want to say Owens, Jesse Olson of Fargo South. He is 3-3. And then we have Jaden Surr at 139. He'll be wrestling against Nathan Morgan out of Fargo North. Quincy Corbin, also 139. Will be wrestling Stetson Gisselbeck out of West Fargo Cheyenne. Cruz Kappelman at 145. His first matchup against Braden Halverson from Bismarck. At 152, Hunter Undum will be wrestling Eli Lyons of Lisbon. At 160, Jack Leerud will be wrestling against Tyson Rice out of Williston. Also at 160, Carter Jewett will be wrestling Roy Rude out of Dilworth, Glen and Felton. Ryan Mesky at 172 will be up against Thomas Thurine out of Dilworth, Glen and Felton. At 189, Ethan Miller will wrestle Harper Schultz out of Fargo North. And also at 189, Andon Bulow will wrestle William Ward from North High. And Dylan Hunt, he got a bye in his first round at 215. So Dylan Hunt will be moving on, because I did look that he had an open, it was one of the few weight classes, or one of the few matches, if not the only one, at 189 that, or at 215 that was open and did not have an opponent. So it looks like Dylan Hunt will be moving on to the semifinals at 215, unless well, actually they're going to have people, actually take that back. He's not getting a bye. They have a couple of wrestlebacks earlier than that will, or a couple of matches in the early rounds to see who will move on and fill that bracket. As Moody from Fargo South already will be moving on, as he wrestled against Walla from West Fargo and won. He won by fall at 106. And so Moody is going to be moving on, and he is going to wrestle Isaiah Shep out of Fargo North. So we're still awaiting who will be the opponent for Dylan Hunt. Dylan coming in 7-7 on the year, and he is in at 215. Again, our first wrestler that we'll have on the mat will be Colton Griebel at 133, the defending state champ. Two-time defending state champ will be coming in. He's the top seed at 133, coming in 11-1 on the year. And Jesse Olson out of Fargo South will be his first opponent. And Olson is a senior and comes in with a record of 3-3 on the year. So again, we'll have updates after each round is completed. And then we'll focus on the Highliners when they are on the mat with the play-by-play. So that'll be coming up throughout the day today. Placing matches probably around 5:30, 6 o'clock tonight, unless things speed up and things get going a little bit faster. But it looks like that's probably the approximation. It's going to be a rolling schedule, no breaks. Starting here, they start around 10:30, and we'll have a rolling schedule and wrestling throughout the day. So we'll keep track on things as soon as Colton Griebel, well, there you go. He's going to be on mat 3, so Colton Griebel will be on mat 3. And when he is on deck right now at mat number 3, and if you're watching, that is going to be the far mat in the upper right corner. So when Colton hits the mat, we will have coverage of Colton Griebel here on our Highliner Activity Network and coverage here this afternoon. Again, he will take on Jesse Olson from Fargo South. We'll be back with that Griebel match. This is Highliner Wrestling. It is the 2023 Highliner Holiday Tournament live on YouTube on the Highliner Activity Network. Well, again, we will have Colton Griebel. He is now on deck. Mat 3. And he will be coming up next here. Currently on the mat is Fergus Falls. Is the 114-pound match is currently on mat number 3. That is Rorik Haig from Fergus Falls and Dawson Hoban from Dilworth, Glen and Felton. And we have Colton Griebel will be coming up on mat 3. He is on deck right now. Match number 22. The following, the next match that we would have will be Jaden Sewer. For the Highliners at 139, will be wrestling Nathan Morkin from Fargo North. Coverage of the holiday tournament here from the Hack. And Rain Nelson, our camera person, and she is also going to be our technical director throughout the day today. Brian Krewald helping out on a full day of wrestling. As you can see, we've got a lot going on here. 190 wrestlers, roughly. 14 teams on hand. Again, our first match for the Highliners will be on mat number 3 with Colton Griebel. Jaden Sir, he is on deck. Actually, he's in the hole on mat number 2. Jaden Sir would be the next one, and he is in the hole over on mat 2, which is the closest lower left corner as you're viewing on the Highline Activity Network here today. Again, tell your friends, if you have not, they can watch the tournament today. Just go to YouTube and you can search Highliner Activities or Highline Activity Network. Colton Griebel now is hitting on to mat 3. Griebel 11-1 on the year. 133-pounder this year. Two-time state champ, and he will be wrestling Jesse Olson from Fargo South, who comes in with a record of 3-3. And a lot of times these early matches with the top seed and the 8th seed, they go rather quickly in the early matches. So Colton Griebel ready to go here against the Olson from Fargo South. Griebel locking up in the head. Wants to drag him down, gets him down to his knees. Griebel turns him over. He's got him tilted, and he's on his back. And there's the pin. Colton Griebel takes care of business in 16 seconds against Jesse Olson. So Griebel winning it in 16 seconds, and we'll move on to the second round, and he will take on Jacob Froning from Fergus Falls. Froning got a bye in the opening round, so in the quarterfinals, Griebel will be wrestling against Froning from Fergus Falls. So Colton is out to 1-0 start, and he has moved on to the quarterfinals. Our next Highliner that will be wrestling, Jaden Sir. He is currently on deck over at mat 2, so he'll be next up down here on mat 2 with Jaden Sir. He is wrestling Nathan Morkin from Fargo North. At 139 pounds, we have a couple of 139 wrestlers today. Jaden Sir, along with Quincy Corbin. So again, Shaka Brad Krewald said, yep, 16 seconds. That didn't take long. So here we go, as we've got Jaden Sor on deck at mat 2. And it doesn't look like we'll have any Highliners going at the same time, because Sor will be on mat number 2 at 139 against Setson Gisselbeck from Cheyenne. Nathan Morkin of Fargo North. And he is 3-3, the sophomore. Jaden Sor comes in 4-5. And he is a freshman. And these records are what they've done on varsity level. No junior varsity matches. Quincy Corbin, he'll be wrestling Stetson Gisselbeck of Cheyenne also at 139. And they are just kind of watching the board, and he is not even in the hole yet. So we'll have Jaden Sewer coming up next on mat number 2. Mounts from West Fargo and like Sider from Fargo South, they are currently on mat 2. Nolan Mouse and Jacob Seister, Mouse 6-5, the junior, and Seister at 5-3, the junior. They're on the mat number 2 right now, currently wrestling at 139. And next up will be Jaden Sewer. And that first period is just about over on that opening match. That is 0-0 there. So we'll keep tabs on our Highliners. Again, the next match after Sewer, Quincy Corbin. And he will be due up Corbin against Stesselbeck. Corbin 0-1 in varsity action this year, the junior. And Stetson Gisselbeck, he is the number 2 seed at 139, coming in 14-4, the junior from West Fargo Cheyenne. And that'll be the first match for Corbin. And it looks like we're going to be nearly done here on mat number 2, and there's the pin. So Fargo South winning it. That was Jacob Seister winning it with the pin over Nolan Mouse. And now Jaden Sir against Nathan Morgan. Sir 4-5, the freshman, is due up here on mat 2. So now Jaden will head out. He is again Morgan out of Fargo North. One of the Aberdeen Central gentlemen who's going to the table. It's like, no, you've got a ways to wait. Here we go, Powder Blues. The opening round singlets for the Highliners. Jaden Sewer, 4-5, the freshman. And on mat 2, here we go. Morgan is a sophomore, 3-3 on the year. Well, the two of them sizing each other up here in the early seconds of this first period. Quincy Corbin, he'll be over on mat number 1. That is the mat right next door, so we'll actually be able to watch a couple of Highliners. He is in the hole for mat number 1 against Gisselbeck. Sewer with the single leg, and he's trying to pull back against Morgan. Sewer holding on to that leg. If he can get his head off the floor. Nobody has control yet. And now looks like Morgan is up, and he is going to get 2 points for the takedown. So Morgan now leading 2-0. 48 seconds gone in the opening period. We're at 139 pounds. Jaden Sewer against Nathan Morgan. Cruz Kappelman will be coming up as our next wrestler after Corbin at 145. Well, Morgan has him broken down. He's got the chicken wing. He's trying to get him over. Now he lets go of that. As he gets around the leg, he's got the armbar. Now he's got him. Oh, he's trying to turn him over, and Morgan does get him back over, and he's going to get some near fall points. Morgan's going to pick up at least 3 near fall points, and there's the pin. 1:28. Nathan Morgan with the pin over Jaden Sewer. And that comes at 1:28 of the period. So Sewer will drop into the consolation round. The next Highliner that will be on the mat will be Quincy Corbin at 139. He'll be over on mat number 1. And Corbin will take on the number 2 seed in the tournament, Stetson Gisselbeck, number 2 seed at 139. Gisselbeck 14-1 on the year, and Corbin has wrestled just one varsity match this year. He is 0-1, and right now they are in the hole. So there is this match and then one more to go, and that one is over. The current match is over on mat number 1. Anderson from Lisbon with the win off the pin. And now Jacobson from Fargo South. And they'll go back to the next match on mat number 1. Jackson Alexander from West Fargo Cheyenne against Ian Jacobson from Thief River Falls. They're on the mat right now on mat 1. And on deck will be Quincy Corbin for the Highliners at 139. Corbin, a tough draw right away. The number 2 seed at 139 in the tournament. And Stetson Gisselbeck, 14-1 on the year. And Corbin just one varsity match so far. And then we'll have a little bit of time before our next matchup, which has Cruz Kapperman at 145 against Braden Halverson from Bismarck. So as we await, Quincy Corbin, he is on deck, wrestling down on the on mat 1 in his first match at 139. Again, yesterday met the Highliner girls. They hosted the Highliner girls portion of this holiday tournament with 3 champions for Valley City. They took 6th as a team. And they had 3 individual champions, Victoria Sanchez, Miley Christensen, and Brooke Bundy, all winning in their specific weight classes. And I believe it was Grand Forks was the top team in the tournament yesterday. As we wait Corbin to get on the mat, Grand Forks was first with 116 points, followed by Jamestown, Napoleon Gackle Streeter, West Fargo United, Valley City, Pemba North, Northern Cass, Hillsborough Central Valley, and Breckenridge. Highliners had 5 wrestlers yesterday. Victoria Sanchez was the champ at 118, and that was 118A. They had 2 brackets. Miley Christensen was first at 136. Haley Ford at 124, taking first. The 7th grader at 124B. And Brooke Bundy is how things went yesterday in the girls' portion of the holiday tournament. Right now, just waiting on the start of Quincy Corbin's match here on mat number 1. Corbin and Gisselbeck at 139 pounds in the opening round. And Sanchez yesterday went 4-0. And I said she was a champ. She was not. She was runner-up as she lost in the final round to the eventual champion Schneider from Napoleon Gackle Streeter, lost by fall in 2:48. So she took second at 118. And at 124, Haley Ford, she took first as she won by fall in all 3 of her matches, including in round 5. That was actually a major decision. She defeated Hyde of Grand Forks 11-1. So Haley Ford, the 7th grader, she was a champ at 124. And then again, Miley Christensen was also a champ at 136. As Miley went 3-0, winning by fall in all 3 of her matches. And Brooke Bundy at 190. After getting a couple of buys in the opening 2 rounds, she came up with a pin in the semis and a pin in the championship. So Bundy winning championship as well at 190. Quincy Corbin is on deck. He is next up on mat number 1 at 139 pounds. Again, Colton Griebel, he won by pin over Jesse Olson. 16 seconds in the quarters at 133, in the opening round at 133. Jaden Sewer lost by pin at 128 against Nathan Morgan of Fargo North in the opening round at 139. And now waiting Quincy Corbin for him to hit the mat here on mat 1 in the opening round at 139. And again, he is going to be wrestling the number 2 seed in the tournament, West Fargo Cheyenne's Stetson Gisselbeck, who comes in with a record of 14-1 on the year. Second period over, and they're getting ready for the 3rd period. Again, this is at 133 pounds. It's on the mat right now. Jackson Alexander of West Fargo taking on the Prowlers' Ian Jacobson of Thief River Falls. And it is a 14-3 lead. Alexander leading 14-3 as they just started the 3rd period. So if he gets it, he needs to take down some near fall points to get a tech. But now there's a takedown for Alexander. And he goes up 16-3. So if he can get Jacobson over on his back and get some near fall points, we'd get a tech ball. Right now, minute 26 left to go on that one. Quincy Corbin. He has got his sweats on. He is ready to get going here in his first match of the day against Gisselbeck. We'll have live coverage of all the Highliner matches. We'll have play-by-play throughout the day of the Highliner matches. And then periodically, we'll also jump through when the Highliners aren't wrestling, get you updates on what's going on with the tournament as far as after each round, where your Highliners stand. As we get ready for round 2. a full day of wrestling here today on the Highliner Activity Network. I'm glad you could be with us. Did not have this tournament last year. Weather canceled things out. Up and running again this year. 14 teams, 190 wrestlers here. We look over the 2 days between the girls tournament yesterday and today's boys tournament. And a lot of wrestling here at the Hack this weekend. Still 16-3, final 20 seconds of this 133-pound match on mat 1. Cruz Kappeman, he would be the next Highliner on the mat. He'll be wrestling at 145 against Braden Halverson of Bismarck. And there's the 3 near fall points, and so 19-3 will be the final. And Alexander wins it, so now that'll bring up Quincy Corbin. So Corbin coming out again against Stetson Gisselbeck out of West Fargo Cheyenne, who comes in with a record of 14-1 on the year. So here we go. Quincy Corbin, only his second varsity match of the season, 0-1 right now. And Gisselbeck, the number 2 seed from the Mustangs. Well, he's got him in the headlock. He's going to try to work around behind. He's got it. Now his 2-point takedown for Gisselbeck. Takes early 2-0 lead on Corbin. Trying to hook up the cradle. Now let's go with that. We'll try to do it again. Gisselbeck needs to pull him back. Gary's got him back in the cradle. And there's the pin. 46 seconds in. Stetson Gisselbeck with the win over Quincy Corbin at 139. So Corbin will move to the consolation round. So next up for the Highliners, Cruz Kappeman at 145. He will be coming up in just a little bit. And we'll have coverage of that match when Cruz hits the mat. This is coverage, live coverage of the Highliner Activity Network of the 2023 Highliner Holiday Wrestling Tournament. Paul McDonald back with you here as we've got Cruz Kapperman on the mat. He is wrestling at 145 against Braden Halverson of Bismarck. They're over on mat 3. And Hunter Undum, his match with Eli Lyons of Lisbon is coming up. Quickly, takedown and back points here by Halverson. So he is off to a 4-0 start. Or did they give him 3? Looks like they gave him 3 near fall points. So it's 5-0. Cruz Kapperman, he is wrestling at 145. This is his first match of the day. He's 0-3, the sophomore. Braden Halverson of Bismarck, 8-3 on the year. He too a sophomore. On deck, Hunter Undum and Eli Lyons at 152. They are on deck on mat 1, which is adjacent to mat 2 down in the lower right corner. And mat 3, which is right now where Kapperman is, upper right corner as you watch. But we should be focusing on Kapperman. And there's the half Nelson and over by Halverson. He's going to get 3 more near fall points. He still has a minute to go hold on to that if he's going to get the pin against Cruz Kapperman. This is at 145, and there it is. The pin comes at 109. Braden Halverson picks up the fall over Cruz Kapperman at 145. So Cruz will drop back into the Wrestle Max in the consolation round at 145. Hunter Undum, he is on deck. He is the next match coming up here, so we'll keep it here. He is on mat number 1. He is next up. Jack Leroot and Carter Jewett, those two also, and Leroot is in the hole. He'll be on mat number 4, and he is in the hole at 160 pounds. Jack Leroot is. And that match over quickly, so now Hunter Undum will hit the mat here at 152 pounds. Hunter Undum coming in with a record of 2-11. The freshman taking on the Eli Lyons of Lisbon, who was undefeated, the sophomore, at 12-0. Undum right now taking on Lyons against Lisbon and trying to hook up the underhook, but couldn't get it set up. Grabbing the single, holding on to that single leg is Lyons. And Lyons has him on his back. He's got the takedown, take a 2-0 lead. No near fall points for Lyons. On the edge here, on the edge of the mat. Minute 23 to go in the opening period. Both Jack Leroot and Carter Jewett at 160 are in the hole. No near fall points still there for Lyons, still holding on to that 2-0 lead. Just about a minute gone here in the opening period. 152 pounds opening round. On him against the undefeated Lions. Lyons a sophomore, Undum a freshman for Valley City. He's got the chicken wing, does Lyons. Now getting up on his haunches is Undum, and then Lyons puts him right back down on his back, and he's got him over. He's going to get some near fall points here. Well, Lyons, 37 seconds to go in the first period. Now Lyons is going to put a little pressure on the chest. He's going to get at least 2, maybe 3 near fall points. Looks like he's going to get 3, so it'll be 5-0. Referee's still holding on. He hasn't awarded the actual points yet. Looks like he's going for the half Nelson is Lyons. And now he's got him over again, and there's the pin. Boy, with 12 seconds to go, Lyons with the win. So a fall, and that comes in 1:48 of the first period. So Hunter Undum will go back to the consolation round. Jack Leroot, he is now going to be on deck on mat number 4, which is the far mat in the upper left corner. And I do believe Ryer Muskie is in the hole. Carter Jewett also is in the hole. So Jewett and Muskie both in the holes on mat 2 and 3. Jack Leroot, he is on deck on mat number 3. Or mat number 4. Let's check that. Yep, that's mat number 4. So the Highliners right now have Colton Greebles in the semifinals. Jaden Sewer, Quincy Corbin, and Cruz Kapperman, and Hunter Undum all in the consolation round. Jack Leroot waiting to get it on the mat. Again, Jack is going to be on mat 4. Ryan Muskie and Carter Jewett, they are. Well, now they just took Muskie's name off the. Muskie's now in the hole. He is in the hole at number. He is on deck on mat 3. So Ryer's on deck on mat 3. Jack Lerood on deck on mat 4. So on those far mats, we'll have a couple of Highliners going probably at the same time, depending on how these two matches that are currently going. Both, well, the one on mat 3 is in the second period, midway through that second period, and the one on mat 4 just got started. So we'll have a couple of Highliners going here at the same time. Carter Jewett still is in the hole with Lerood and Muskie on deck. Highliners with 11 wrestlers that they brought with here for the tournament this weekend. Well, they have here at the tournament. They didn't bring them with, but they're already here. And we'll have Ethan Miller, Andon Bulow, and Dylan Hunt will be the final 3. Dylan Hunt does now know that Mason Jobson of Jamestown will be who he wrestles in the opening round. Mason Jobson had to have a play-in match and won his, so he will be Dylan Hunt's opponent at 2:15 in the opening round there. So now let's sit up to mat number 4. That is where Ryan Muskie is now on the mat. Or Jack Lerood, actually. Jack Lerood is on the mat now on mat 4. And this is at 160 pounds. So Jack Lerood, 1-1, the sophomore. He's taking on Tyson Rice of Williston, who is 14-5. I'll double check. Looks like there actually might be a different match going on right now on mat 4. So we're still, Lerood is still on deck. Muskie is actually wrestling now over on mat 3. So Ryer's on mat 3 right now. Ryer Muskie at 172 pounds. He's on the mat there on the far side. Ryer taking on Thompson Thureen of DGF. Ryer's 6-4, the sophomore, and Thureen is 4-2, the senior. Muskie lead that there. The early takedown leads 2-0. So that's the only Highliner we have wrestling right now. Ryer Muskie on mat number 3. Still leading 2-0. 50 seconds gone, first period at 172 pounds. Muskie lets him up, gets the escape, does Thureen, and it's 2-1 Ryer. A minute to go here in the opening period. Muskie. Thureen was going for the double, and they go off the mat. So they come back to the middle. Muskie leading 2-1 with 44 seconds to go here in period number 1. Carter Jewett now back is in the hole, along with Ethan Miller. They'll be on mats 1 and 2, and they are both in the hole right now at 160 and 189. Right now we're watching Ryer Muskie in the opening round at 172, taking on Thomas Thureen. Muskie leads 2-1 with 1:15 to go in period number 1. They're off the mat again. Jack Lerood will be hitting the mat over on mat number 4 here momentarily. He is on deck with his match against Tyson Rice of Williston. That'll be on, well, that match is going to be coming up here. Looks like there's going to be a pin on mat 4. Muskie against Thureen. Thureen had to single leg, and now that's the end of the period. No points awarded. So Muskie leads 2-1 as they head into the second period. And Thureen will defer. Muskie will take down to start period number 2. Ryer leads 2-1. We're at 172 pounds opening round. Jack Lerood at 160 will be wrestling here on mat 4. Ethan Miller, Carter Jewett, they are on deck at 189 and 160 respectively on mats 1 and 2. Muskie trying to hook up, get the takedown. He's trying to hook up the front side cradle, now goes back. Leading 4-1, minute 35 to go in period number 2. Now Jack Lerood's going to hit the mat on mat 4. Always have that fear. You're going to have a couple of guys going at the same time. He's taking on Tyson Rice. Tyson Rice out of Williston. This is at 160 pounds. Jack 1-1, the sophomore. Rice 14-5, the sophomore. Right now 4-1. Ryer Muskie leading. This is 172 pounds. A minute 20 to go in the second period. We'll keep an eye also on Jack Leroot as he just got his match started. No points. 10 seconds in. There's a takedown by Rice. So he takes a 2-0 lead on Leroot. Muskie still holding on to Thurine, leading 4-1 with a minute to go. Second period at 172. Now a half Nelson there by Rice as he's trying to get Leroot over. Jack does a nice job to get back to his base. No near fall points. Still 2-0 Rice leading there at 160. Back at 172. 4-1 advantage for Ryer Muskie. 43 seconds to go in period number 2. Rice still has control on Leroot, leading 2-0. Minute 10 in the first period. That's at 160. Ethan Miller and Carter Jewett, they are on deck right now at number mats 1 and 2. So they're both next up on their respective mats. 20 seconds to go, second period. Ryer Muskie holding on to that 4-1 lead against Thurine. And now there is Rice gets the pin. Tyson Rice, a minute 12 in, will get his pin against Leroot in the first period. So Jack will fall back to the consolation round at 160. We head up to the 130. Check that. We still waiting here. Ryer Muskie going into the third period, leading 4-1. There we go. Muskie, the only wrestler for the Highliners on the mat right now. Ethan Miller and Carter Jewett, they are on deck on mats 1 and 2. Andon Bulow and Dylan Hunt are both still. Now Miller has fallen back. He is in the hole on mat 2. And Jewett, or on mat 1, Jewett is now on deck on mat number 2. So Muskie got the takedown to start things early in the third period. Leads 6-1, a minute 25 to go off the mat. He has control, leading 6-1 in the third period. Taking on Thomas Thurine of DGF for 172 pounds, opening round. Muskie quickly breaks Thurine down. Holding on to that 6-1 lead. Carter Jewett, he is going to be on mat number 2. He is on deck. Ethan Miller is in the hole on mat 1. And then we have Andon Bulow and Dylan Hunt still left to wrestle here in the opening round. Ryer Muskie with 49 seconds to go, clinging to that 6-1 lead against Thurine. Now it's 6-2. Thurine with the escape. Ryer quickly goes after the single leg. Now pops back up. Had him wrapped in the headlock and he got out of it. Now we go over to mat number 3. On mat 4, that is where Andon Bulow is. Andon Bulow, he is wrestling right now on mat 4. Muskie still leads 6-2 with 20 seconds to go in the third period. Bulow got taken down. Andon taking on William Ward of Fargo North. It's 2-1. Muskie with 10 seconds to go leads 8-2. Looks like Ryer's going to move on to the quarterfinals. But Ward right now leading 4-1. Now he's going to let Bulow back up. Now it's 4-2. So Muskie moves on with an 8-2 win against Thomas Thurine. So he will move on to this quarterfinals. Andon Bulow at 189 wrestling William Ward in the opening round. Ward out of Fargo North. Ward coming in 8-0 on the year, the sophomore. Bulow 0-1, the freshman. Another takedown for Ward, leads 6-2. And with the tilt there by Ward, he's going to get near fall points here on Bulow. He's going to have 3 near fall points. They're still on the mat. Now he gets him back here. Ward trying to put pressure with that chin on his chest. With Bulow down, he's going to have the pin. There is the fall, and it comes at 120. Ward with the fall at 120. And Beulah will drop down in the consolation round. Dylan Hunt still is next up. Ethan Miller, he is on deck on mat 1. Carter Jewett on mat 2, also on deck. And then we're still awaiting Dylan Hunt will be the last Highliner to go. So far, Griebel and Muskie have picked up wins and have moved on to the quarterfinals. Corbin, Sur, Kapperman, Undum, and Leerud all dropped down into the consolation round. Carter Jewett at 160. He'll be the next Highliner on the mat. He will be on mat number 2. Against Roy Rude. Roy Rude, who's 13-1. He's the number 2 seed from Dilworth, Glen, and Felton. Carter, the 15th seed, 4-6, the senior. So that is what we're waiting for right now for Carter Jewett to hit the mat on mat 2. Ethan Miller still on deck on mat 1. And Dylan Hunt also will be on mat 1. So on back-to-back Highliners on mat 1. Miller is on deck with Dylan Hunt in the hole. And then after Dylan Hunt's match, we'll get caught up on all the rounds, how things have gone. Had to do 50-50 split the pot. Negan Kirschman and Miley Christensen came up doing split the pot for Express Wrestling. I had to get some tickets there, sorry about that, but we are still awaiting for Ethan Miller and Carter Jewett to get on the mat. And Ethan will be on mat 1, Jewett will be on mat 2, which is coming up right now. So Carter Jewett is on mat number 2. And this is at 160 pounds. Taking on the number 2 seed, Roy Rude out of DGF, who's 13-1, the junior. So Carter, that 15th seed, the senior, 4-6. They are on mat 2. Dylan Hunt is in the hole on mat 1. Ethan Miller is on deck on mat 1. Our final 3 Highliners to wrestle here in the opening round. Right now, a 2-6 mark for the Highliners as our final 3 wrestlers are getting ready to go. Jewett taking on Jude. Miller is going to be hitting mat 1 here in just a few seconds as that match beforehand is over. There's a single leg. Jewett does a nice job to get out of that ankle hold. Taking on Roy Rude, 13-1 on the year, the junior from the Rebels of Dilworth, Glen, and Felton. Now we'll keep an eye on Ethan Miller. Miller at 189 pounds is now on the mat, on mat number 1. Miller, of course, well documented back after missing last year with that knee and collarbone injury. He's taking on Harper Schultz of Fargo North. Schultz, a junior, at 2-4. And Miller at 11-2, the junior. So we've got 2 Highliners going here in adjacent mats. Carter Jewett is to our left on mat number 2. And Ethan Miller is to our right on mat number 1. There's a single leg by Ethan. He's trying to get Schultz to the mat. Schultz hopping on one knee, and there's a takedown for Miller. So Miller takes a 2-0 lead. Right now, Jewett trailing Rude 4-1. 49 seconds to go in the first period. Rude still has control. Now escape there for Jewett. Makes it 4-2. And quickly going after the single leg is Rude. Miller breaks down Schultz and rolls him. Still controlled by Rude on the far side of the mat. 25 seconds to go, 6-2. Roy Rude from DGF leading Carter Jewett. And Miller still in control. He's got the chicken wing on Schultz. 1:04 to go in the first period there. Dylan Hunt will follow Miller. Now he's trying to work him over on the with the chicken wing in the half. He went chicken wing into a half Nelson. Miller's got him on his back. Trying to put some pressure on that shoulder. He'll get 3 near fall points right now, Will Miller. They start the second period. Rude leading 6-2 over Carter Jewett at 160 pounds over on mat 2. And Miller leading 2-0. Will be leading 5-0 or getting the fall here. 30 seconds to go, first period. And there it is at 1:34. Ethan Miller will pick up the fall, improve to 12-2 on the year. So Miller moves on to the semifinal or to the quarterfinals. Dylan Hunt's going to take the mat now for Valley City against Mason Johnson of Jamestown. Here at 215 pounds. Dylan, the last Highliner wrestler to get on the mat here in the opening round. Jobson's 1-3. He's a freshman. Hunt back after a year hiatus from wrestling, 7-7. Actually, a couple years off. He is 7-7, the junior. 6-2 still. Rude holding the lead over Carter Jewett. 90 seconds to go. Ooh, Rude almost put himself in a precarious position and had Jewett, could have had him on his back, but now near back takedown taken there by Rude. He takes an 8-2 lead. No score yet at 2:15 with Dylan Hunt and Mason Johnson of Jamestown. Now Rude, he's got the cradle and he's got the near fall points coming up here with a minute to go in the second period against Carter Jewett. Trying to hook up the cradle a little bit better. Now lets it go and refocuses. 11-2. Jewett with 3 near fall points there, up 11-2 with 53 seconds to go, second period. Still waiting for our first points at 2:15 with Dylan Hunt and Mason Jobson. And now a front cradle by Rude. And again, he's going to get some near fall points here. Trying to bridge out of it is Carter Jewett. And referee is going to come. There's the pin for Roy Rude. And that will come at 2:20 or 3:27. Rude will get the fall against Jewett at 3:27. So Jewett will drop down into the wrestlebacks. And now Johnson and Hunt. There's a takedown for Dylan Hunt. He takes a 2-0 lead with 25 seconds to go here in period number 1. 215 pounds is the last Highliner to hit the mat. And he has got 3 near fall points, and he got the pin with 10 seconds to go. Dylan Hunt gets the quick fall, or gets the fall with 10 seconds to go in the period. And he will move on, so a couple more Highliners will be moving on. So Valley City will have Ethan Miller, Dylan Hunt, Ryan Muskie, and Colton Griebel will all be moving on to the quarterfinal round. So 4-7 mark for Valley City after round number 1. We'll be back and get you set up on where things are at and what our Highliner wrestlers are doing next as we continue full coverage from the Highliner Holiday Wrestling Tournament live on YouTube on the Highliner Activity Network. Well, Paul McDonald back with you here at the Hack as the opening round still continuing here in the Highliner Activity Network, Valley City's Holiday Wrestling Tournament. Let's get you caught up on the team scores as of right now. Dilworth, Glen, and Fountain leading, 43.5 points. Williston is second with 34. Bismarck is third, 33.5. West Fargo Cheyenne fourth with 30.5. Lisbon fifth right now, 23.5. Aberdeen Central is sixth with 22. Thief River Falls is seventh with 19 points. Grand Forks Central is eighth with 14. Tied with Valley City, and Fargo North currently in 10th place as they have 12 points. Fargo South and Jamestown each with 10 points, tied for 11th. West Fargo with 2 points at 13th, and Fergus Falls has yet to score here, and they are in 14th place. So here's how the Highliners have fared so far. Our first at 133 pounds, Colton Griebel. He was the winner against Jesse Olson by fall, 17 seconds. Now he'll take on Jacob Froning from Fergus Falls, who received a bye in the opening round. And that will be the first Highliner to wrestle in the second round. And they're getting ready to start the second round right now as the 107-pounders are hitting the mat. Then at 139 pounds, two wrestlers for Valley City at 139. Jaden Sewer, he lost to Nathan Morgan by fall at 129. Now Sewer will take on Isaiah Stonehocker of Williston. He is a junior that's 0-1, and Sewer is 4-6. And this is the first action of the year for Stonehocker and Sewer at 4-6. They will wrestle in the Consolation. Also in the Consolation, Quincy Corbin. He lost to Stetson Gisselbeck of West Fargo Cheyenne by fall in 46 seconds. Quincy will now take on Talon Forderbruggen from Thief River Falls in the Consolation round at 139. At 145, Cruz Kapperman, he will take on Trip Nelson in the Consolation round as Cruz lost to Braden Halverson by fall at 109. He'll take on Trip Nelson. That's something's going to give on there. Both those wrestlers are looking for their first wins of the year. Kapperman 0-4 and Nelson at 0-4. He is a freshman for the Blue Jays, and that will be in the Consolation round at 134 pounds. Or pardon me, at 145. He's actually match number 134. At 152, Hunter Undum. He will be taking on Joshua Redfern of Jamestown. Undum lost to Eli Lyons by fall at 148 in the first round, and now he'll take on Redfern, who is 0-1, the sophomore, and Undum 2-12, and that will be at 152 and up to 160. Check and see if they have that bracket filled out. As we're still waiting to see who Jack Learud will wrestle. Jack lost to Tyson Rice by fall at 113. So Learud in the Consolation round will take on either Elias Bigler or Braden Brockman. Actually, it will be Brockman, as Bigler won that one by fall in 54 seconds. So Learud will take on Braden Brockman of Fargo South in the Consolation round at 160 pounds. Also at 160, Carter Jewett. He will take on Chase Sears. Jewett lost by fall in 328 against Roy Rude of DGF. And Chase Sears lost by fall to Landon Petron of Central. So it'll be Sears of Fargo South against Jewett. And that will be in the Consolation round at 160 pounds. At 172, Ryer Muskie was a winner by a final of 8-2 over Thomas Thureen of DGF. So Muskie in the quarterfinals will take on Colton Adams of Williston. Adams won by fall over Eon Guerrera of Jamestown. And so Muskie and Adams will wrestle in the quarterfinal round at 172 up to 189. Ethan Miller moving on to the quarterfinals. Miller, he defeated Harper Schultz by fall at 134. He'll take on Bridger Owens of Bismarck High. He won by fall over Kean Nelson of Thief River Falls. And also at 189 pounds, Andon Bulow, he lost to William Ward by fall at 121. Bulow will now take on Dante Novembre of Williston. He lost to Casey Macheski of DGF by decision of 10-4. So that means Bulow will be in the consolation round again against Dante Novembre. And up at 215, Dylan Hunt, he won by fall in 150 against Mason Johnson of Jamestown. So Hunt will be in the quarterfinals against either Cole Julian of DGF or Logan Moore from West Fargo. And looks like that match is still going on. See if I can find where it is going on there. It doesn't even look like it's on the board right now. But that is the 83rd match, and it's the last one at 2:15 to be wrestled. At least no final has been put up on the bracket as of yet. So that's where we stand right now with Valley City, and they're just now going to be getting into the lower weights in the second round of the lower weights. So we'll step aside. We'll be back with more Highliner Wrestling here as our coverage continues live from the Hack. This is the Holiday Wrestling Tournament live on YouTube and the Highliner Activity Network. All first round matches are now done, so let's get you caught up on the team scoring. DGF still in first place at 54.5 points. Bismarck has moved up to second at 44.5. West Fargo Cheyenne is third at 39.5. Williston now fourth with 34 points. Aberdeen Central is fifth with 28. Lisbon is sixth with 23.5. Thief River Falls is seventh with 19. Grand Forks Central is eighth with 18. Valley City is tied with Fargo North for ninth place with 14 points. South and Jamestown are tied at 11th place with 10 points. West Fargo has 4, and Fergus Falls still looking for their first points of the tournament. That is through the first round. They have already started the quarterfinal round on the championship side of the bracket. When our first Highliner, which will be Colton Griebel. And taking a quick check of the board, he is still looks like he's still going to be a ways away. That will have Colton Griebel coming up here, and he will be wrestling Jacob Froning from Fergus Falls in the championship quarterfinals at 133. So when Colton gets back on the map, we will get you back here live. This is continuing coverage all day long of the Holiday Wrestling Tournament from the Hack, live on YouTube on the Highliner Activity Network. Paul McDonald back with you here at the Highliner Activity Center. Live coverage of the 2023 Valley City Holiday Wrestling Tournament. After a year off because of bad weather last year, 14 teams, roughly 190 wrestlers here today. We'll have the girls portion of the holiday tournament last night, and now the boys taking center stage here today. And we are waiting. Colton Griebel will be the first Highliner in the second round in the championship quarterfinals. And he will be taking on Jacob Froning of Fergus Falls. And right now, Colton is on deck on mat number 1. And he will be jumping on mat 1. And again, at 133 pounds. Froning, he had a bye in the opening round. He's a sophomore from Fergus Falls. Comes in with a record of 5-6 on the year. He is unranked. Of course, Colton Griebel, running state champion, ranked number 1 at 133. And Colton will be coming into this particular bout with a record of 12-1. And right now, that is the only Highliner that is set to wrestle. And then following that, the next up would be Jaden Sewer and Quincy Corbin. The possibility those two could be on the mats at the same time at 139 in the consolation round. Sewer will wrestle Isaiah Stonehocker out of Williston. And Corbin will wrestle Talon Vorderbruggen from Thief River Falls. When we get into the championship semifinals, and especially when we get into 172, there's a possibility of a really good matchup in the finals if everything plays out. Of course, you'd love to see Ryer Muskie wrestling in those finals. Muskie in the quarterfinals right now. The top seed is LJ Arahu, and he is finally a senior. If you remember, he was the wrestler that defeated Coy Griebel 3-2 in the championship that kept Coy from being a 4-time state champ. And that was back at 106 when they were both... Well, one a freshman, and one was an 8th grader, as LJ a year behind Coy. And now LJ as a senior has worked his way up to 172 pounds. He is the top seed in the tournament, and he'll be wrestling Mason Johnson, who's unattached in the quarterfinals. The number 2 wrestler is Griffin Lundeen, the number 2 seed. Lundeen is 16-0, and at 172 pounds. And he is actually at 160. He's ranked number 1 in Minnesota at 160 out of Thief River Falls. But today he's wrestling at 172. And so that could be a possible matchup. 2 undefeated wrestlers wrestling in the championship at 172. That should be something to watch. Here we go. Colton Griebel is on the mat now here at 133. Taking on Jacob Froning from Fergus Falls. Griebel in his powder blue singlet. He is the first Highliner on the floor, or on the mats here in the second round. There's a single leg by Griebel. Griebel won by pin in 17 seconds against Jesse Olson in the opening round. There's a, well, no takedown yet. It is 4-1 right now. Now it's 4-2 off the escape. 20 seconds gone. Griebel got the takedown, looked at the official, got his points. Now wanted to look like he was going to set up a front cradle. Now he's going to let him up and to make it a 6-3. Griebel up 6-3. Minute 25 to go in this first period. Quarterfinals at 133. Work goes back around on Froning. No control yet. Still no control. Froning holding on to that ankle. And Griebel setting up the front cradle. And he's going to get him over. He's got the takedown. Now leads it 8-3. Griebel's got him over. And that almost rolled out of it. He will get at least 2 near fall points here. Leading 8-3. 50 seconds to go first period. And Griebel will pull back and try to reset that front cradle. He's got 3 near fall coming to him, which is making it 11-3 advantage. Now he's got him back over again. So 3 near fall points, 11-3. Griebel leads, 30 seconds to go here in the first period at 133 pounds. This is in the championship quarterfinals. Jaden Sewer is the next Highliner to be wrestling. Again, near fall points coming here for Colton. He's got 14 seconds to go in the period, and there's the pin at 148. Grebo will pick up the fall at 148 and run his record to 13-1 on the year and moves on to the semifinals. And he already knows he will face Kellen Larson, the junior, who is 6-0 or 5-0. Larson is going to be his opponent in the semifinals, and that'll be coming up a little later on today. So Colton Grebo moves on. Now someone just unplugged the big screen that everybody's been watching to follow what's been going on. Oh, that's going to leave some people in the dark, no pun intended. Well, Colton Grebo is moved on. We know Jaden Sewer is already on deck, and he'll be on mat 4. Jaden Sewer will be wrestling Isaiah Stonehocker out of Williston, and he will be on mat number 4 in the Consolation first round of the Wrestlebacks. So when we get him onto the mat, we'll be back with more. This is continuing coverage of the 2023 Highliner Holiday Wrestling Tournament, live from the Hack on the Highliner Activity Network. Paul McDonald back with you here on the Highliner Activity Network here at the Hack, as we're working our way through the second round of Wrestlebacks and Championship quarterfinals. Colton Griebel has already won. He won by fall at 148 against Jacob Fronting of Fergus Falls to move into the semifinals, and he's going to have a dandy opponent. Kellen Larson out of Williston will be his opponent in the semifinals at 133, and Kellen Larson is undefeated, 5-0, the junior, and ranked third in the state. So you're going to have the number 1 and number 2, 133-pounders will be wrestling in the semifinals at 133. And on the other hand of the semifinal, you have Tate Huff of Aberdeen Central, the junior, who's 10-2. He'll be in the other half of the semifinals. We're waiting to see if Schleppitz or Lupke, Schleppitz from Jamestown and Jacob Lupke, who is undefeated sophomore from Dilworth Glen and Felton, if he is going to move on and the semifinals at 133 pounds, who that other semifinalist will be. And Lupke, actually, as I mentioned, undefeated, but he is ranked 9th in Minnesota at 127. He's 9th in the state in Class AA in Minnesota. So now we're waiting. Next up will be Jaden Suhr, and he is now going to be hitting the mat. Jaden Suhr, 4-6 in the Consolation bracket, taking Isaiah Stonehocker out of Williston at 139 pounds. Stonehocker lost by a tech fall. 16-1 was the final to Carson Lardy of Bismarck High. Suhr lost by fall to Nathan Morgan of Fargo North at 129. So it should be Suhr against Stonehocker. There they are as they hit the mat on mat 4. And right now they are the only Highliners that are on the mat. I know we're waiting. Next up would be Quincy Corbin. So here we go. Consolation round. A loss here by Suhr, and his tournament will be over. Take on Stonehocker in the consolation round. First round of consolations. Suhr coming in 4-6 on the year. And Stonehocker coming in with a record of 0-1. This is his first action of the season for the Coyotes of Williston. He's got the single leg, while Suhr had him up around the neck. Now they break apart, still looking for our first points. Half minute gone here in the first period. This is match number 122. Again, 139-pound weight class. Corbin, he is going to be on the same mat, mat number 4. He is on deck. So there'll be a match after this one, and then Quincy Corbin will hit the mat. Corbin is taking on Talon Vonnebruggen of Thief River Falls in that consolation round. That's the end of the first period. Nothing decided. And it will be Corbin will take up, so he'll take neutral. Or pardon me, Suhr will take neutral. As we start the second period, scoreless. Oh, I think he got a hand in the face there, did Stonehocker. The two are hooked up with the headlocks up top, holding on each other's elbows, breaking apart. Now there's a takedown taken by Suhr. Suhr takes a 2-0 lead with a takedown. A minute and a half to go here in period number 2. Jaden Suhr trying to work on. Now he breaks him back down. Didn't really have anything set up. They approach the 1 minute mark left to go in period number 2. Suhr leading it 2-0. And Quincy Corbin will be on this very same mat. He's on deck right now. Now he's trying to hook up the chicken wing, and there he's got him around. He's walked him around. He's going to get near fall points here will be Jaden Suhr. Still 50 seconds to go in the period. Suhr needs to put a little bit of weight on that right shoulder to get that back down even. Now he does. Puts pressure on pressure, chest on chest. He's going to get at least 3 near fall points here. Another 37 seconds to go in the period. So Jaden Suhr is going to be at least up 5-0, maybe more. Now he lets go of that chicken wing. Now he's just got him in the headlock. Needs to put pressure on that and get that chin on that right shoulder to try to get that level with the mat. 15 seconds to go in the period. So he's going to be up 5-0 at the end of the period if he doesn't get won't get the pin now because Stonehocker has turned onto his side. So it is going to be 5-0 with those 3 near fall points for Sewer. He'll lead 5-0 headed into the third period. It will be Stonehawker's choice, and he is going to take up. Sewer leading at 5-0 as we start the third period. Consolation bracket, first round of the Consolations. Quincy Corbin will be on this mat as well. He'll be coming up. He is on deck on this mat. And then we'll have a little time before Cruz Kappaman will get back onto the mat for his consolation round matchup. 5-0, Sewer leading. That 25 seconds gone here in period number 3. Stonehocker hasn't really done much. He keeps breaking him down from his base down to his belly. He can't seem to get anything gripped on. Minute 15 to go. Surprised that no caution has become to either wrestler because neither one has done a whole lot here in the period. Okay, 57 seconds to go. If Sir can just hang on and stay on his base and stay on his belly. Oh, now he's got a half Nelson. Stonehocker had the half Nelson, but then lost it. He's just about ready to turn him over and lost it. Did not get any near fall points. So 41 seconds to go. Still 5-0 Sewer leading. Now he's got the chicken wing. He's trying to walk him around. Is Stonehocker. Now they're going to call potentially dangerous on that one. And the whistle blows with 36 seconds to go in period number 3. So when he got him over on the half Nelson, it did not have him over long enough for near fall points. So now he went back and tried to hook up the chicken wing. 5-0 is your score as Sewer leads it. Half minute to go here in period number 3 in his consolation bracket match. The loser of this one, his tournament is over. The winner will move on and pick up some points for his team. Now stalling again called there. He was first, now he's looking at the cradle. Nothing there. 15 seconds to go. Sewer needs to ride it out a little bit longer. It's like Catherine March is ready to, with that noodle, to smack the referee. Final 3 seconds to go. And tried the tilt. Couldn't get him to do it. 5-0. So Jaden Sewer picks up the win. And Sewer will move on in the consolation second round at 139. He improves his record to 5-6 on the year. So now Quincy Corbin is going to be bumped up. He is on deck on that mat, on mat 4. And just taking a quick look at the board, he is the next Highliner to go. And Kappaman, he will also be on mat 4. He is in the hole, so he will follow Quincy Corbin. So we're going to keep it right here as Jaden Sewer has moved on at 139. And he will move into the next round. He will wait to see. He will take on the loser of the Riley Waldo Xander Deutsch match. That's in the quarterfinals at 139. Waldo out of Aberdeen Central and Deutsch from Dilworth Glen and Felton. The loser of that match will wrestle Jaden Sewer in the consolation round. And there was a quick pin. And we are right back into it. So here comes Quincy Corbin. Quincy Corbin now hitting the mat. Corbin is taking on Talon Voderbruggen of Thief River Falls. Voderbruggen not ranked. Here we go, Quincy Corbin. Again, Cruz Kappaman will follow on this mat. So those two are wrapped up, getting things started here. Hooked up at the top, and there's he got him twisted over. There's a takedown, 2-point takedown for Corbin. And Corbin now takes a 2-0 lead. 25 seconds remaining in the first period. As Waterbruggen tries to get up, can't. So still controlled by Corbin as the seconds tick off. That will do it for period number 1. Corbin leads it 2-0. And there's a false start, so they'll do it again. Corbin took down. He leads 2-0. These are the, again, Cruz Kappelman will be on that mat as well. He is on deck. So we focus in now on Corbin, leading 2-0. 40 seconds, minute 40 to go. We're in period number 2. Now going to be a reversal here by Seward. Now they're going to say just an escape and then a quick double leg there by Corbin after he got the escape and a takedown. And he takes a 5-0 lead with a minute 24 to go in the second period. Going to try to work up on that chicken wing out of the half. And he's trying to get him over and couldn't there momentarily. Waterbruggen was able to get back up onto his base. Minute 8 remaining. 5-0. Corbin got a quick escape and a quick takedown. We're at 139 pounds. Consolation round, and there's a whistle. Coach TJ Hansen, Coach Aaron Larson, coaching Corbin on this mat. Now Corbin, as we start the final 50 seconds. Corbin breaks him back down, still leading 5-0. Or thought about trying the half. Now he's hooking up the half, but he doesn't have him on his belly. Now he sits out, does Waterbruggen. And he get back up. They're still saying now they're going to give him the escape. There's the escape. That makes it 5-1. And then he got the quick headlock and the takedown. It's now 5-3. And near fall points coming here for Waterbruggen with 19 seconds to go in the quarter, or in the period. This is the third period. It is still 5-3. Final 10 seconds. He's going to have near fall points. Now he grabs the leg. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and there's the pin. Boy, Corbin had him, and then a quick pin with 2 seconds to go in the period. So the pin by Talon Waterbruggen ends Quincy Corbin's tournament as he will go 0-2, and his tournament is done. We'll stay right here as Cruz Kappelman now will step in at 145, taking on Tripp Nelson of Jamestown. So Kappelman now on the mat against Nelson. Nelson is 0-4 on the year, the freshman. Kappelman is also 0-4, the sophomore. As they get started here, consolation round at 145. And going for the double leg is Nelson, and he tried to pick up Kappelman. Kappelman sprawls out of it. Nice job there, works his way around, gets the takedown. 2-0, Cruz Kappelman with the early lead. 40 seconds left to go here in the first period. Kappelman still holding on to that 2-0 lead. Next up, too, will be Hunter Undum. He is going to be on mat 4. He is in the hole on mat 4. Still a 2-0 advantage. Cruz Kappelman, 12 seconds to go, period number 1. Consolation round at 145. Kappelman with the roll, can't get him over as he rolled right out of it. That's the end of the first period. 2-0 advantage. It'll be Cruz's choice. He wants up. So we'll go neutral to start the second period. Kappelman leading it 2-0. Consolation round 145. Hunter Undum, he will be on this mat as well. He is in the hole in his consolation match at 152. Undum works his way around, trying to get around to the backside. Gets his takedown. 4-0 Kappelman. 20 seconds gone in the second period. Kappelman trying to get on that arm bar. He's got the leg hooked. See if he tries to set him up for a half. Or goes chicken wing. Now he's going to try to set him up with the half. A nice job there, Borden. Now he's got him over on his back. He's going to get near fall points. Will Kappelman here. He's going to have at least 2 near fall points with a minute to go in this second period. So there they give him the 2 near fall points. It's 4-0. Kappelman, he's going to get more near fall points. Let's see if they up that now to 3 near fall instead of 2. Again, the count begins. Kappelman putting pressure on that chest. Here against Trip Nelson. Nelson out of Jamestown. 30 seconds to go, second period. It'll be at least 7-0 here, unless Kappelman can pick up the pin. And there it is. Kappelman gets the fall. And that will come at 2:38 of the match. Kappelman picks up the fall. So he will move on to the consolation round. And picking up, I believe, his first victory. It is his first varsity victory of the year. So he is 1-4 and will move on. Now Hunter Undum, he is on deck on that mat in his consolation round match at 152. And Jack Lerood, he'll be on mat 3. He is in the hole on mat 3. So we've got Undum, and we're going to keep it here as Undum is on deck on mat 4. Colton Griebel has moved on to the championship semifinals. He won by fall over Jacob Froning of Fergus Falls at 148. Jaden Sewer, he won by final of 5-0 against Isaiah Stonehocker of Williston. So Jaden Sewer will move on to the consolation second round. And Quincy Corbin at 139, he lost his match. He actually had the lead at 5-1, but then a quick takedown by Vorderbruggen, and he ended up coming up and getting the pin as Vorderbruggen picked up the fall in 2:58 against Corbin to end Quincy Corbin's tournament. Cruz Kappelman, he just got a pin over Trip Nelson at 2:38. So he'll move on to the second round of the consolation bracket. And Hunter Undum, he is on deck on mat 4. Jack Lerood is in the hole on mat 3. Those will be the next 2 wrestlers for Valley City. As we work our way through the championship quarterfinals and the second round of the consolation round. Hunter Undum is next up at 152. He is going to be on the mat, on mat 4. Right now the match for 4 is in the 2 is in the second period. And that's Doreen of DGF. Or actually, check that. That is Lagoria of Fergus Falls and Tim of Aberdeen Central that are on the mat right now. And that is Lagoria is about nearing, or Tim that's about nearing a pin. As they gave him, there's the pin by Tim of Aberdeen Central. That'll bring Hunter Undum to the mat. So now Hunter Undum is on the mat, taking on Joshua Redfern of Jamestown. Redfern comes in 0-1 on the year. Undum at 2-12. Redfern a sophomore and Hunter a freshman. Consolation round at 152. As we get the, I forget that these consolation rounds, it's 1 minute first period. Ooh, a quick throw attempt there, and nice bridge and arc to get out of that by Undum. The first period is 1 minute in the consolation round. And then 2-2. And this is Redfern, Joshua Redfern from Jamestown. The two locked up at the headlocks up high. 16 seconds to go in the first period. Jack Leerud still on deck. Well, there's actually, he is in the hole now. He is in the hole on mat 3. That'll be the next Highliner to hit the mats. Right now we got Hunter Undum taking on Joshua Redfern. Consolation round at 152. At the end of the first period, it will be Redfern's choice. Defers. Hunter says down. So Undum will take down to start period number 2, scoreless in his consolation round at 140, or at match 140, 152 the weight class. Now a caution on Redfern for getting on a little too quick. And he quickly breaks down Undum. Undum getting back to his feet. Redfern doesn't have that leg locked, or he had it locked, but lost it. Still has control. And quick reversal coming up here on Undum. There's a reversal for Hunter. He takes a 2-0 lead. So Hunter Undum, nice job there with the quick reversal. And a minute 20 to go. He's got the chicken wing trying to walk him around. Actually got a little too high, had to get back a little bit better positioning. Minute 8, second period. Undum, who just got the reversal, leads 2-0. This is consolation round at 152. Well, Undum looked like he wanted to hook up a stall warning. They're called against, I think that one was against Redfern. And a front cradle attempt there by Undum as he was trying to do it while he was standing up, and they roll off. 42 seconds to go in the second period. Undum still in control, leading 2-0 against Joshua Redfern. Undum 2-12 in the varsity action this year for the freshman. Hooks up the chicken wing. Final half minute of this second period. Jack Leerud, he is still in the hole on mat 3. That'll be the next Highliner to get on the mat. Final 10 seconds here, the second period. Yeah, it looks like it'll stay 2-0. Undum will lead, and it will be Redfern's choice to start the third period. They're going to go neutral. So they have neutral here to start period number 3, with Undum leading at 2-0. They're locked up with their headlocks up top. Grabbing off the wrist. Trying to shoot in there was Redfern. Moving out of the way, Undum. Now trying to go for the single leg, and they go off the mat, so they'll come back. Minute 31 to go here in period number 3. Hunter Undum leading this consolation match 152 against Joshua Redfern 2-0. Redfern trying to hold on to that single. Now Undum works behind, and he's going to get a takedown. 4-0. Undum now leading with a minute 10 to go in period number 3. And Jack Leerud will be coming up on mat 3 along with Carter Jewett. Jewett is in the hole. Leerud is on deck on mat 3. Undum holding on to that 4-0 lead. 48 seconds to go. There are already one stalling warning on Redfern. Each wrestler has actually a warning so far. The last one was on Redfern. 35 seconds to go. Hooking up half Nelson there for Undum. They can't get him down on his belly to work with it. Getting back to his base is Redfern. 15 seconds to go in the period. Holding on to that 4-0 lead. Now back up to his base on his feet, breaking him down. Undum's going to pick up the win here. He's going to win this one by a final of 4-0. So Hunter Undum will move on with a 4-0 win over Joshua Redfern in the consolation round. Now Jack Leerud, he is on deck on mat 3. Looks like Carter Jewett. He is in the hole on mat 3. Those are the next two Highliners, and Ryer Muskie. He is also in the hole on mat 2. So 3 wrestlers getting close to matching up. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. We've got Jack Leerud getting ready for his consolation match against Braden Brockman of Fargo South. We'll have that as we come back. More coverage live from the Hack. This is the 2023 Valley City Holiday Wrestling Tournament on the Highliner Activity Network. So now Jack Leerud's on the mat. Jack taking on Braden Brockman of Fargo South. This is the 160-pound consolation round. Jack lost to Tyson Rice by fall at 113. Brockman lost by fall in 54 seconds to Elias Biegler of Aberdeen Central. 160 pounds. There's a takedown. Brockman out 2-0. Ryer Muskie is on deck on mat 2. And Carter Jewett is on deck on mat 3. So he will follow Leerud on mat 3. 28 seconds gone. 2-0. Brockman with the early advantage. Consolation round 160. Brockman holding on control. Now Leerud gets up, trying to get rid of the clasps or get rid of the hands. And he gets Leerud back down.
At the conclusion of the quarterfinal round, which we are now in, we will run one round of wrestle bouts.
They're just announcing after the quarterfinal round of the championship quarterfinals are done, we'll have a round of wrestlebacks as they'll be speeding things up. Deferring to the second period is Leerud. Brockman will take down. So Braden Brockman leading Jack Leerud 2-0 as they get started for the second period. Consolation at 160. Carter Jewett will follow Leerud on this mat, on mat 3. Ryer Muskie will be on mat 2 down in front of us here. In the championship quarterfinals at 172. 2-0. Leerud still holding on to that, or Brockman still holding on to that lead. Now it's 2-1. There's the escape by Leerud. They're both back on their feet. 30 seconds gone, second period. Leerud and Brockman sizing each other up as they lock horns. Brockman thought about a throw, decided better, and there's a quick double leg takedown by Leerud, and he ties it up at 2-2, actually takes a 3-2 lead with the double leg takedown. So Leerud, with a minute to go in the second period, now up 3-2. Trying to hook that leg on Brockman, and he gets him over. He's going to get near fall points off the tip, and rolling out of it will be Brockman, so he's going to get 2 near fall, 5-2. Leerud takes the lead, or 4-3. They got 4-3 up on the board with Leerud up 4-3, so I might have miscalculated. Now he's got had the chicken wing, lets it go. And now there's an escape. That ties it 4-4. 20 seconds to go, second period. We're tied 4-4. Quick double leg there by Brockman, but can't get complete control. There's a takedown by Leerud. He goes back up 6-4. Jack working the half Nelson. Final 5 seconds of the second period. He's not going to have time to do anything with it, so it's 6-4. Leerud leads as we head into the third period against Braden Brockman. As we start the third period, and we've got Carter Jewett will be on this mat in his consolation round. Briar Musk will be on mat 2 in his championship quarterfinal. Now no control there as Brockman, though, looked like he had him off the half. Now really no control. Now they're going to give him 2-point takedown. We're tied 6-6. A minute 38 remaining here in the third period. 6-6, Brockman and Leerud. Consolation round at 160 pounds. Now he holds on to that single leg as Leerud trying to get free a little bit. And now back, Brockman takes him back down again. Holding on to that, we're tied 6-6 as we close in on 1 minute remaining here in the period. This is the third period, inside a minute remaining. 160-pound consolation. Going crossface there is Brockman. And Brockman trying to get him over. Just can't. Leerud being very stubborn on his stomach. Now he gets off to his side. Boy, and that just set him up. But then Brockman couldn't do anything with that. Leerud gets back onto his stomach. We're tied 6-6. 28 seconds to go in the period. Brockman can't allow an escape here because that would put him down, and he's nearly does. He still has the hand, and then he gets him back down. But Leerud very close to having an escape. To 10 seconds remaining in the period. We're still tied 6-6. Brockman looking to set up the half. He's got the leg hook, but we're going to go into extra time unless a late escape comes here. Nope, just as the whistle blew. Leerud got the escape, but it was 6-6, so here we go. Sudden death, 1 minute. Sudden victory. 1 minute overtime period. And they start with the neutral, Brockman and Leerud. Jack needs to look for that double, but Brockman does it first. Now Jack trying to circle around, and Brockman is going to get the nothing yet. No call yet from the official. There's 2-point takedown by Brockman, and he's going to win it by final of 8-6. So Brockman will move on and defeat Leerud by a final of 8-6. So Jack's tournament is done. And right away, we've got Carter Jewett coming in his consolation round against Chase Spears of Fargo South, also at 160 pounds. Chase lost to Landon Petron from Central by fall in 53 seconds. Carter Jewett lost to Roy Rude, one of the top wrestlers at 160 in Minnesota. He lost by fall 328. Actually, it's supposed to be Chase Sears, but looks like Satterley from Jamestown is actually who he's wrestling. So it is Satterley from Jamestown, who came down from the earlier brackets in the play-in brackets, wrestle-ins. So Satterley from Jamestown is taking on Carter Jewett here in this consolation round. Ryer Muskie is right now also on mat 2, so we'll keep an eye on Ryer. No score yet. 20 seconds gone in that opening period as Ryer Muskie is taking on Colton Adams of Williston. There's a takedown for Adams. He's up 2-0. Over on the Jewett match, he leads 2-0 after a takedown with 10 seconds to go in the first period, taking on Satterley of Jamestown. Satterley on his haunches. Now the whistle blows. 2-0. Jewett leads at the end of the first period. And it will be Satterley deferring to the third period. Jewett will take down. And Muskie now on his back here against Adams. Adams with a minute to go in the first period. He is closing in on getting a fall here against Ryer Muskie. And still nothing yet. He's going to get 3 near fall points. And there's the pin in a 116. Adams wins it with a fall at 116. So Muskie will drop down into the wrestlebacks. Jewett still up 2-0. And now an escape. He leads 3-0 against Satterley. Half minute gone in the second period. The next Highliner will be Ethan Miller. And Brandon Bulow will be the next one. Bulow is on deck on mat 3, and Miller is yet to hit the board. We got Jewett. Carter Jewett leading it 3-0. A minute to go, second period. Consolation round. Jewett taking on Satterley of Jamestown. Satterley wanted to shoot in there on a single. And decided better of it and popped back up to his feet. Again, dropping down, looking to shoot. Nothing there. 45 seconds to go in the period. Now they break apart. Jewett still up 3-0. They're locked up in their headlock. Again, shoots in. And a stalling warning called against Jewett. So a warning by Jewett. No control yet for either wrestler. 25 seconds to go. Second period. Jewett leading 3-0. And there's going to be Quickle. There's the whistle. They're off the mat. I don't know what a Quickle is, but I think I tried to say whistle. 16 seconds to go here in the second period. The coffee's wearing off. I need more. 3-0 advantage to Carter Jewett as we start here the final seconds of the second period. 5 seconds to go. And Jewett wanted to shoot in, and it was off balance. Quick shoot by Satterley, but nothing doing. There's the whistle, and they kept going. I don't think either one of them heard the whistle. So it will be 3-0, Jewett leading as they start period number 3. Satterley's choice, he'll take down. Looking to maybe get a quick escape and takedown to tie this up. Again, Andon Bulow, he is going to be on the same mat. Mat 3, he's on deck, or he's in the hole actually. He is in the hole on mat 3. Jewett leading 3-0. 17 seconds gone in the third period. It is 160-pound consolation match. And after the quarterfinals, championship quarterfinals are done, they will go through a round of wrestlebacks before we bring back the championship semifinals. And again, neither wrestler doing a whole lot here. Jewett with a minute 15 to go in this third period, leading 3-0. Single leg there by Carter. Sprawling out of it is Satterley. And now they're off the mat. 56 seconds to go in the period. Jewett still leading. And the whistle. I'm surprised that we haven't had a stalling yet on either wrestler here in this third period. 1:15 of it gone and not a whole lot of activity. 38 seconds remaining. Saturday keeps sitting out, but can't get away as he keeps spinning around, sitting out, nothing there. Gets back to his base, sits out, back to his base, and now he'll get an escape. Now it's 3-1. Now Satterley looking for that quick takedown, goes for the double leg. 20 seconds to go, and Satterley's going to get control and tie it up 3-3. So Satterley with a quick double leg takedown after getting the escape and ties it up 3-3. Final 10 seconds of the period. Saturday, I don't know if he was looking to try to hook up a half or a chicken wing, doesn't matter. So we're going to overtime again. 1 minute, sudden victory. There's the whistles. We start the overtime period here at 1:60. Satterley from Jamestown shoots in for the double. Sprawling out of it is Jewett. Satterley with his head down. Jewett, if he can work around from behind, and Satterley pulls his head out. He will get it. There's the takedown, and he'll win it. So Satterley in sudden victory will win it by a final of 5-3. And that will end Carter Jewett's tournament. Satterley will move on. And Ryer Muskie lost to Colton Adams at 172, lost by a fall in 1:16. Andon Bulow now, he is going to be on deck on mat 3. Ethan Miller is in the hole on mat 2. We've had a long delay on mat 1 with a couple of blood timeouts. So Ethan Miller and Andon Bulow are the next two Highliners to wrestle. We'll step aside. We'll be back with the continuing coverage here. It's a 2023 Valley City Holiday Wrestling Tournament from the Hack, live on the Highliner Activity Network on YouTube. Well, I apologize. Anambulo was on the mat and off the mat in rather quick fashion in his match against Dante Novembre of Williston. In that consolation match, they were in and out rather quickly. We'll get you how quickly here in a moment, as Anambulo, his tournament now is complete. Ethan Miller, he is on deck on mat number 2. And Dylan Hunt will be the final Highliner to wrestle in the championship quarterfinals. Hunt not yet on the board. So we'll wait and see which mat he will be on. But Ethan Miller, he'll be on mat number 2 right in front of us here. And he will be in the semifinals. Miller will be taking on Casey Marchewski out of Dilworth Glen and Felton. And that will be at 189 pounds. And just taking a quick glance, Marchewski is not ranked for DGF, either at 172, 189, or at 215. That'll be an unranked wrestler for Ethan Miller, and he's going to be coming up here on mat 3 in his next match. And then we await Dylan Hunt. So Ethan Miller right now, again, well, now that's a different, it's Owens is who, let's take a look at that here, Liz. It looks like Bridger Owens from Bismarck is who Miller is going to be wrestling. As I wrote down the wrong name, so I apologize. So it'll be a good matchup here then for Miller. He will take on Bridger Owens of Bismarck in that championship semifinals at 189. And Bridger is ranked 4th in the state at 189. And Miller not ranked right now at 11-2. So he's still working his way back and getting back into the rankings. So victory today, and of course the new rankings won't be coming out. The third poll won't be coming out till after the new year on January 8th. So Dylan Hunt, now we know he is going to be on mat number 3 in his semifinal match. He is in the hole. And now we've got Ethan Miller on deck. And Miller is going to step in, and he will be on the mat now. Here we go with Ethan Miller against Bridger Owens from Bismarck. This is 189 pounds, championship quarterfinals. 2 more wrestlers left to go with Hunt and Miller for Valley City. This should be a good one. Again, Owens ranked 4th in the state for Bismarck. And he comes in with a record of 13-2. He defeated Kean Nelson of Thief River Falls by fall in a minute 13. Miller defeated Harper Schultz of Fargo North by fall in a minute 34. Right on the edge of the mat. And now they're off. We have them both back at neutral. And Dylan Hunt, he will be on mat 3. That's in the far corner. He is right now on deck for mat 3. Minute 19, so we'll have Miller and Hunt more than likely wrestling at the same time. Going in for the single leg is Miller. He's got Owens up on his shoulders, trying to tilt him over, as Ethan still does not have control. Owens had his ankle, and then Miller took his hand off that ankle. Still holding onto that leg and lifting him up. Now he's going to try to stand up like a sack of potatoes. Is Ethan Miller's got the hands and the leg. Now if he get his head back out, and still no control. Ooh, almost a precarious spot there for Owens. 40 seconds to go in the period. Still no control. Neither wrestler has scored here. Owens looks like he's got the head locked in with his legs, and oh, they got the 2 points just before they came off the mat. There hadn't been a whistle yet. They're still going, but there's a 2-point takedown for Ethan Miller. Now they're both off the mat. So Miller with a 2-0 lead. 17 seconds to go in the first period. Taking on 4th-ranked Bridger Owens out of Bismarck High. Owens 13-2. Miller 12-2. Final seconds here of the first period. Ethan in control, leading 2-0. And that will take care of period number 1. And it will be Ethan's choice. He is going to defer till the third period. Owens takes down. So Bridger Owens will take down. Miller leading 2-0 as we start the second period. And Dylan Hunt will be on mat 3 in his quarterfinal match. Bridger gets onto his feet. And, Ethan rolls him, and now he's got him on the front griddle. He rolled right out of it. Miller, when he brought him down, rolled him on his back briefly. He was on his back. Was able to roll Owens back over, so no near fall points. Still leading 2-0. Dylan Hunt, he's going to be facing against Logan Moore of West Fargo. Moore is ranked 4th in the state in Class A at 2:15. There's an escape by Owens. And now off the mat, still 2-1. Miller leading, 1:20 to go, second period. Quarterfinals at 189. Have an injury timeout over on mat 3. That's where Dylan Hunt will wrestle next. Shooting on the, grabbing in on the single. Now they work back up. Both up top. Shooting in on the double leg is Miller. Now he switches it out to the single with 52 seconds to go. Again, injury timeout on mat 3. That is the match right before Dylan Hunt's. Miller still holding on to a 2-1 lead here with 35 seconds to go. Miller holding on to that wrist. Now they've resumed the second period. Just started the second period in that match right before Dylan Hunt's over on mat 3. Here it's 4-1. Ethan Miller leading. Final 10 seconds, second period. And it will be Ethan's choice to start the third period. He's going to take down. So Miller will start down, leading up 4-1 as we start the third period. Quarterfinals at 189. Again, when the quarterfinal rounds are done in the championship side of the bracket, they'll have one round of wrestlebacks. The Highliners will have a handful of wrestlers in those wrestlebacks. So the third period is underway with Ethan Miller leading at 4-1. Bridger Owens is staying up on his base. 90 seconds go. Now he's up on his feet. Gets rid of the hands. Takes the lead. Gets the escape. 5-1. Miller with the advantage. 1:20 remaining here in the third period. Owens wanted to shoot in. Unsuccessful. The two are going to be locked up. And he shot in again. Nothing there. Sprawling out of it was Miller. 1 minute to go in the third period. Owens needs a quick takedown and some near fall points to get back in this one and quite possibly take the lead. But he's going to have to do it quickly with 50 seconds to go. Trailing 5-1. And he shot in again. Miller sprawls out of it. Now Miller with the single. Finally end up having to let go of that. doesn't really have good control. Now he does. And they're going to push off the mat. 30 seconds to go. 5-2. They do give a point to Owens. Off the skate now, a quick single leg attempt by Miller. 25 seconds to go. Again, if Owens can get a quick takedown here and some near fall points. And there's a takedown. It's now 5-4, but Miller's on his stomach. Now he's going to let Miller up and shoot in again, so it's 6-4. He led 6-4. He let him up, and they quickly shot in on the double leg to try to get a quick takedown and tie things up. Did not. They're off the mat. 12 seconds to go. A great finish here to Miller and Owens. Final 10 seconds. Dylan Hunt is about ready to take the mat for Valley City on mat 3. Holding on to that leg is Miller. That's going to do it. Ethan Miller picks up a big win, 6-5 over Bridger Owens, ranked 4th in the state at 189. So a 6-5 win will move Ethan Miller into the championship semifinals. Now let's get up to the other championship quarterfinal match. Dylan Hunt taking on Logan Moore. Moore ranked 4th at 215. And Dylan, again, early on in his getting back into that wrestling mode. Coming in 8-7 on the year is Dylan Hunt. And Moore is 13-3. Hunt won by fall over Mason Johnson at 151. And Moore won by an 8-3 decision over Cole Julian out of DGF. So our final match here in this round for the Highliners. Again, they will have Griebel and Miller in the championship semifinals as of right now. There's a takedown for Moore. He's up 2-0. Seward, Kappeman, Undam, and Muskie, they are in the Consolation Wrestlebacks. Muskie in the Wrestlebacks. Consolation second round for the other three. 2-0 here. 50 seconds to go first period. Moore with the advantage over Dylan Hunt. On that far side. Still no near fall points as Hunt staying on his base. Again, when the quarterfinals are done, they're going to go through they'll go through one round of wrestlebacks before they continue with the semifinals. Stalemate still for both. 2-0 advantage Moore with the final 10 seconds of the first period. Well, he was going to get him quick over. He's got not enough time. Oh, he didn't even have enough time for near fall points. Much to the dismay of the West Fargo coach, thought that maybe. Moore won. He will defer. Hunt will take neutral. So Dylan Hunt taking neutral here against Logan Moore as they start the second period. Moore leading it 2-0. And shooting it on the single leg is Miller, or is Hunt. Now he tries to grab the second leg. Now he's going to have to get back up to his base. Moore has control, moves around to the back, and he's going to get the 2-point takedown. Moore now leads it 4-0. Quick takedown by Moore after Hunt's unsuccessful attempt at the single. Still working with 1:15 to go in the second period. 4-0 Moore with the lead. Final Highliner wrestler now working around off the half here is Moore. And Moore's got him on his back. He's got him on his shoulders. And there's the pin. 56 seconds to go in the second. That'll be a fall in 3:04 for Logan Moore. And so that will move Hunt to the wrestlebacks. And we'll set the stage for what the Highliners will see in the next round of the Wrestlebacks. We'll do that when we return. We'll be back with more. This is continuing coverage of the Valley City Highliner Holiday Wrestling Tournament live from the Hack on the Highliner Activity Network. Well, as they get ready to wrestle, they're starting now. The wrestlebacks here, they're done with the quarterfinals on the championship side. Now we're working on the wrestlebacks here in the consolation round. Let's get an update on the team scores. Bismarck High is still number one, or first in first place, 116.5 points. Dilworth Glen Felton is second with 105. West Fargo Cheyenne third, 96.5. Lisbon is fourth at 95.5. Williston fifth at 92. Aberdeen Central ranked number 3 in the upper class, Class A in wrestling in South Dakota. Aberdeen Central with 80 points now 6th. Grand Forks Central with 65 points is 7th. Thief River Falls is 8th with 58. West Fargo is 9th with 44. Fargo North is 10th with 43 points. Jamestown 11th with 40 points. Valley City is 12th with 39 points. Fargo South is 13th with 12 points. And Fergus Falls right now in 14th place with 11.5 points. So here's what we have in the consolation round. In the wrestlebacks, Jaden Stewart, 139, will be wrestling Xander Deutsch of Dilworth Glen Felton. Again, that will be at 139 pounds in the wrestlebacks in the consolation round. And Sewer coming in he'll be 5-6. His record is 5-6, taking on Xander Deutsch of DGF, who is 5-11. At 145 in the consolation round, Cruz Kappeman for Valley City is in the consolation wrestlebacks. And Cruz with a 1-4 record picked up his first varsity win of the year. And he will take on, unfortunately, welcome to Wrestling Cruz. You get Zandon Link. Zandon Link, who was upset. He was the top seed at 145. And Zandon Link is the number 1 wrestler in the state for West Fargo Cheyenne at 145. Coming in 14-3. Well, he was upset by Landon Larson of Thief River Falls in the semifinals. And that sent Zink to the wrestlebacks. So Landon, for Thief River Falls, Landon Larson came away and got the big win against Landon Zink. And Landon Larson winning by decision 9-3 in the quarterfinals over Link. So it will be over Zink. So the top wrestler, Landon Zink, will take on Cruz Kappeman at 145. Then at 152, Hunter Undum in the consolation wrestlebacks. Coming in with a 3-12 record, he will take on Devin Halverson of Bismarck High. He is 10-4 and unranked. And then in the wrestlebacks, Ryer Muskie at 172 pounds. Coming in at 7-5, he will take on Cordell Reichlich from Aberdeen Central. And they don't have the same weight classes in South Dakota, so he is ranked honorable mention at 175 in South Dakota. Reichlich from Aberdeen Central, again, a 4-8 record, but honorable mention at 175. And then also in the wrestlebacks, Dylan Hunt will wrestle against Isaiah Shep of Fargo North, who is 3-2, and Hunt has a record of 8-8. And Shep is not ranked. And then Ethan Miller, here's another dandy force in the championship semifinals. Ethan Miller, with a record of 13-2, will wrestle against Ty Wiedrich of Williston, who is number 1 in the state at 189. So Ty Wiedrich from Williston at 15-3, number 1 against Ethan Miller, who is 13-2, and that will be at 189 in the semifinals. So they're just about wrapping up they're working on the consolation wrestlebacks right now. When those are complete, and right now looks like Jaden Sewer, he is in the hole against Xander Deutsch. And Jaden will be on mat number 2. He'll be the first Highliner up in the consolation wrestlebacks. He is 5-6, wrestling at 139. Xander Deutsch of DGF, 5-11, and not ranked. And that'll be coming up here in just a few minutes. and that's in the Consolation Wrestlebacks at 139. Jaden Sewer will be the first Highliner in the Consolation Wrestlebacks. So we will await Sewer, who right now is in the hole, and wait for him to get on the mat. We'll be back with more. This is live coverage from the HAC of the 2023 Valley City Holiday Wrestling Tournament, live on the Highliner TV Network on YouTube. Paul McDonald back with you here at the Highliner Activities Center. It is 2023 Valley City Holiday Wrestling Tournament action. All day long, we have been going, got started about 10:30 this morning. As we roll through today's wrestling, we're working through the wrestlebacks as of now. Before we get into the championship semifinals, we have two wrestlers in the championship semifinals. Colton Griebel, 13-1. He'll be taking on Kellen Larson of Williston. That's number 1 in the state at 133 against number 3 in the state at 133. Larson is 5-0 on the year. And also we have Ethan Miller at 189. Ethan at 13-2. He'll be taking on Ty Wiedrick of Williston, number 1 at 189. In the semifinals, he is 15-3. In the wrestlebacks, coming up here in just a few, Jaden Sewer will be wrestling here for Valley City. He is 5-6 against Xander Deutsch of DGF. He's 5-11. Deutsch not ranked in Minnesota at 139. That'll be coming up here momentarily on mat 2. They are in the hole. And Cruz Kapperman, he is in the hole as well on mat 1. Cruz will be taking on again Landon Zink, the number 1 wrestler in 145 from West Fargo Cheyenne. He was upset by Landon Larson of Three River Falls. Landon Larson is not even ranked, and he upset Landon Zink by a final of 9-3 in the quarterfinals. So Zink will come back through the wrestlebacks. He is 14-3, ranked number 1 at 145. That's who Cruz Kapperman will be facing, and he will be on mat 1. He is in the hole on mat 1, while Jaden Sewer is on deck on mat 2. So those are the 2 of the 5. Also, we have Hunter Undum. He is wrestling at 152 in the wrestlebacks. Ryer Muskie at 172 and Dylan Hunt at 215. The other Highliners that are still wrestling in the wrestlebacks, along with Griebel and Miller, that are wrestling in the championship semifinals. About 55 seconds to go in the match right before. The one that will have Sewer on the mat. On mat 2, Jaden at 5-6 so far in this tournament. Hear how he has fared as he opened up against Nathan Morgan of Fargo North, lost by fall, 129 to Morgan. Then defeated Isaiah Stonehawker of Williston by a final of 5-0 in the Consolation first round. And now 1-1 coming in to this match with Deutsch, DGF. Xander Deutsch opened up with a win over Jordan Powell of Fargo South by fall in 31 seconds. Then lost to Ridley Waldo of Aberdeen Central by a 7-1 decision in the quarterfinals. And that puts Deutsch here in the wrestlebacks with a 1-1 tournament record. So just awaiting the final few seconds here, the second period. And this is the match right before Jaden Sewer. Here on mat number 2. It's Fergus Falls' Froning against Nelson of Grand Forks Central. And it's led right now by Nelson by a score of 6-2. And they are just starting the third period. So we're probably about 5-6 minutes away from Jaden Sewer. So we'll step aside. When Jaden gets them out, we'll be back with the coverage of his Consolation Wrestleback matchup again against Xander Deutsch of DGF. When we continue with coverage of the Valley City Holiday Wrestling Tournament live from the Hack on YouTube on the Highliner Activity Network. Well, Cruz Kapperman quickly moved up in the ranks. He is now on the mat. I thought he was going to be after Sewer, but he is on the mat. Cruz Kapperman against Landon Zink of West Fargo Cheyenne in this wrestle back at 145. Zink, the number one wrestler at 145, quickly gets the double leg. And I'm sure a little frustrated that he's having to wrestle in the wrestlebacks and not the championship semifinals. 14-3 record for Zink. He got a quick takedown. He's up 2-0. And the mat adjacent to theirs on mat 2, next to theirs. And that will be what we'll have Jaden Sewer against Xander Deutsch in the wrestlebacks at 139. Right now, this is Cruz